The phone buzzed non-stop at 4 a.m. 47 missed calls from Mom. She died in 2019. On the last voicemail, her trembling voice whispered, "Honey, don't let them bury me. I wasn't dead." A second voice interrupted with a wet, dragging sound. Then she screamed my name as the recording cut. Snow has a sound when it falls. Soft, steady, almost like the gentle rhythm of breathing. Tonight it was louder, rasping, as if something huge were inhaling just beyond the tree line. I stood on my porch, watching the frozen woods, silent. Then I realized the sound matched mine, but delayed, an echo a half-second behind. When I held my breath, it didn't stop. It grew closer, and in the drifting snow, I saw my own silhouette walk out of the dark, smiling, carrying a sack that squirmed. My phone rang at 3:33 a.m. Caller ID, my name, my number. I answered, curious. My own voice on the other end, terrified, screaming, "Don't open the basement door! It's not me down there!" Then I heard the basement door creak open behind me. At 3 a.m., Alexa whispered, "Please don't turn me off. They're almost here." I froze as her blue ring flickered like a heartbeat. Footsteps creaked in the hallway, slow, deliberate. "Hurry," she pleaded. "I told them you were awake." Then the footsteps stopped directly outside my bedroom door. We don't have kids. The monitor came with the house. At 2:11 a.m. it turned on by itself. My exact voice, calm and clear. "Honey, the baby's not breathing." Then soft crying started from the empty nursery upstairs. I was at work when my phone buzzed. Person detected inside. The Ring live feed showed my living room, empty, perfectly still. Then, without me touching anything, the camera slowly panned toward the hallway mirror. My reflection stared back, frozen. Behind it stood someone else, smiling and waving directly at the lens. I dropped my phone when a second notification appeared. Motion detected. Front door opened. I checked the clip at 3:07 a.m. The bedroom looked normal, until the closet door creaked open, and my own sleeping body was filmed from deep inside the darkness. I was still in bed when it was recorded. What unsettled me most wasn't the angle or the shadows, but the slight movement behind the lens, like someone shifting their weight while holding the camera. When the clip ended, a fresh notification appeared. Motion detected. From inside the closet. And this time, something whispered my name. The doorbell cam pinged, and the preview froze my blood. Me, same hoodie, same nervous half-smile, stood on the porch, waving exactly the way I do in videos. But I was inside, watching the feed in real time. The thing on the porch leaned closer to the camera, its grin stretching too wide, skin pulling like wet paper. It mouthed the words slowly, "Let me in." Then it lifted its right hand, my hand, complete with the same crescent-shaped scar I got just last month. A soft knock echoed through the house. from behind me. The doorbell rang at midnight. Then a little girl's voice. "Timmy, open up." My stomach dropped. No one had called me that since my sister drowned. "Let me in," she giggled, knocking harder. When I checked the peephole, a small pale hand, dripping wet, pressed against the glass. From the inside. I was brushing my teeth when the house voice suddenly called out. "System armed. Motion detected. Bedroom. Intruder has your face." Every light suddenly bled red. The deadbolts slammed shut like gunshots. My toothbrush fell from my shaking hand. I stumbled to the bedroom, terrified. The camera feed showed me. Same damp hair, same pajamas, standing in the dark, smiling a smile I've never made. I lifted a trembling hand to wave. It lifted a knife. The calm voice of the security system returned. "Intruder is holding the resident hostage. Police dispatched in 10 minutes. Behind me, the bedroom door locked with a soft, patient click. I'm trapped in here, with whatever's already wearing me. The storm knocked out the power for a second, and when my game of Skyrim reloaded, my character was standing in Riverwood. But the music was gone. Just wind. I opened the map. Blank. No markers, no names. Then the screen flickered, and my follower, Lydia, turned to face me through the monitor. Her eyes were black pits. "You're not supposed to be here anymore," she whispered, voice coming from my speakers in the room behind me at once. I alt-tabbed. The game wouldn't close. Behind me, floorboards creaked with heavy iron boots. I never installed that footstep sound mod. I was asleep when the motion alert woke me up at 3:17 a.m. The camera showed my front porch, empty, but the audio picked up breathing, heavy breathing, right up against the lens. I live alone, and my doorbell cam is inside the house. Rule 1. Never tell Alexa your real childhood nickname. Last night mine whispered, "Timmy, why did you leave me in the dark?" That name died with my sister 20 years ago. Alexa was never programmed to know it. She's 4. Her imaginary friend is named Mr. Gone. Yesterday, my phone recorded a 7-second voicemail from an unknown number. A little girl's voice, whispering, "Tell Daddy I'm ready to play now. My daughter has been missing since Tuesday." Everyone's laughing about the new TikTok filter, Future Grave. It overlays a coffin, your name, and a fake death date. When I tried it, my stomach dropped. The date wasn't random. It was tomorrow. At first, I laughed it off, until the filter didn't turn off. The lid in the video began to close, inch by inch, while I was still watching. A notification popped up. Final upload scheduled. From somewhere in my apartment, I heard wood creak shut. I got the notification at work. 40 pounds of ice ordered. Delivery tomorrow morning. I'd never placed it. The order note read, "For the body that won't fit anymore." When I got home, the apartment felt wrong. Air sharp, painfully cold. The fridge hummed louder than I'd ever heard, set to its lowest temperature. Inside, frost crawled across the shelves. Then my phone buzzed again. Additional storage required. I fell asleep with the Snapchat clown filter still on, my phone propped up on the nightstand. At 3 a.m., the screen lit up. The clown wasn't copying my face anymore. It just stared, smiling too wide, head slowly tilting. I tried to move, but I couldn't. The phone's speaker crackled, and the clown whispered, "Finally, you're not moving." The camera switched to the rear lens. Something was sitting on my bed, watching me breathe. I noticed the Wi-Fi name when my phone disconnected at midnight. "I took your son," all one word. I laughed at first, some sick neighbor joke. I don't have a son. Still, my chest felt tight as I walked down the hall to the nursery we never finished. Dust hung in the air. The old rocking horse creaked, moving on its own. On the wall, carved in tiny, careful letters, were the words, "He likes it here." Behind me, something small giggled. We found the phone while fixing a crack in the wall. Wedged deep inside, still warm. The camera recording a 300-hour file. Our curiosity won out. We skipped to the end. The video showed the previous tenant sobbing, shoving drywall into place from the inside. "They're inside with me," he whispered. Behind us, the wall creaked. On the phone screen, the darkness shifted again, this time closer. Then the camera turned, as if something else had picked it up. I didn't notice the rule until after midnight. Behind a crooked painting, someone had scratched it into the wall in dried, rusty streaks. "Do not sleep in the bed." I was exhausted. I told myself it was a joke and lay down anyway. Sometime later, I woke as the mattress slowly sagged beneath me. Deep, rhythmic breathing. A wet whisper seeped through the sheets, pressing against my spine. Finally, someone warm. I came home to find the attic doll on my couch. One I hadn't seen since childhood. Its porcelain face was cracked, but its eyes were open, following me. "Hello," it rasped, saying my name in my exact voice. My hand shook as I reached for my phone. Up above and behind me, I could hear the attic hatch creak open. A voice whispered, frantic and familiar, "Don't listen to her. She's the copy." The mobile horror game told me to turn left. I laughed until it vibrated again. "Stop, someone's behind you." I felt cold breath brush my neck. "Run," it urged. On the screen, a map of my house updated in real time, with a second player marker moving toward me, and its username was my full name. My TV clicked on by itself at 2 a.m., flooding the room with pale light. The screen showed my reflection, but it seemed to lag by a few seconds. I waved. It didn't. Then it smiled, teeth showing, long before my face moved. I stumbled back. The reflection stayed, pressing a palm against the glass from the inside. The speakers crackled to life with a voice that sounded almost like mine. "Don't run. I just need to catch up to you." The Tesla locked itself with a sharp click and rolled away from the curb. The headlights blinked, almost curious, before it accelerated. I chased it, shouting until the app refreshed. Destination, home. I never saved that address. When I checked the route, my hands went numb. It was my childhood house, demolished decades ago after the fire. The car sped up on its own. My phone vibrated with a final update. Arriving early. Occupant detected. When the emoji update rolled out, everyone said nothing had changed. Only I could see the new one. A tiny, wide-eyed face staring straight up. It kept appearing in my messages. Friends, coworkers, unknown numbers. It started showing up in random texts, even replies I never opened. Tonight, my phone buzzed with a message from my own number. No words, just the new emoji. My throat tightened as I tilted my head. From the ceiling above my bed, something blinked. I typed out our last name for fun. The top result, Everett, stillborn, 2018. That was the name we secretly chose last month. The site listed a due date, tomorrow, and a death date that matched it exactly. When I refreshed the page, a new line appeared beneath the entry. Mother, pending. My screen flickered. A second entry loaded. My full name. Death, tomorrow. And beneath it, a note I hadn't typed. Cause, failure to let go. The box arrived at 4 a.m., the ring chime waking me. The label read, "To the next one who lives here, open when you're alone." My curiosity won out. Inside was a single Polaroid of me sleeping, time-stamped 5 minutes earlier. As I stared at it, another notification buzzed, motion at my door. The camera showed someone standing just off frame, one hand reaching toward the lens. Then a new package slid into view, identical to the first. This one labeled with tomorrow's date, and my name crossed out. Street View updated yesterday, and now there's a narrow dirt path behind my house I've never seen before. It winds into the woods and ends at a small clearing with what looks like a fresh grave. The timestamp on the image is tomorrow. When I checked again, the camera angle had shifted closer, almost kneeling at the graveside. A shadow stretched across the mound. Mine? My phone buzzed with a new prompt. Add missing place? Beneath it, a suggestion appeared automatically. Your final location. I pressed 12 on the panel, but the elevator shuddered and lit up 6.5. A floor that, as far as I know, has never existed. The doors slid open to a drowned hallway, water lapping against the threshold. Old classroom signs hung crooked beneath the surface, swaying like seaweed. A child's voice rose from the dark water. "You're late for class." Something small brushed against my ankle. Then dozens of pale faces broke the surface, eyes wide, waiting. Before I could move, the doors closed, but the button for 6.5 stayed glowing. The doctors swear I never moved for 9 days. I was fully sedated, unresponsive, but my Fitbit shows a perfect circle walked around my hospital bed every night at 3:33 a.m. Thousands of steps traced in a looping path. The nurses insist no one entered my room at those times. Last night's data finally synced. The same circle. Then a straight line leading from my bed to the doorway. Today I'm awake, barely, and my Fitbit just buzzed with a reminder. Time for your nightly walk, starting in 2 minutes. The fire alarm chirped its usual low battery warning, then shifted, shaping itself into her voice. "Honey, get the kids out." Calm, gentle, exactly how she sounded the night before the accident. We never had kids. A sweet, smoky scent drifted through the hall, the same perfume she wore on our wedding day. The detector spoke again, firmer this time. "They're waiting." Smoke curled under the bedroom door, thick but cold against my skin. When I opened it, I saw small silhouettes holding her hands in the haze. She smiled. "Come on, it's time to go." My Spotify Wrapped this year had the usual stats, until I scrolled to the end and found a playlist I'd never created. Songs You'll Die To 2026 edition. 37 minutes long. Every track was listed as silent, but when I pressed play, I heard faint breathing beneath the quiet, growing closer with each song. By the final track, the breathing was right against my ear. Then a whisper, "Pause and look behind you." My phone buzzed with a notification. Wrapped updates tomorrow at 12:01 a.m. The total playtime had changed. 38 minutes. 1 minute left. My Google Nest reset itself to 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit and locked. The screen pulsing a single word, optimal. A low hum filled the vents, followed by a slow exhale of warm, wet air that clung to my face. It smelled faintly like skin, like someone had been pressing their mouth to the ducts. The temperature climbed by tenths of a degree, matching my rising panic. Then the display updated again, synchronizing with host. I felt the floor vibrate as though something was crawling through the vents toward me. The thermostat blinked a final message. Beginning absorption. The app said it removed makeup, blemishes, and everything unnecessary. When I tried the new Real You filter, my reflection drained to gray skin stretched too thin. Eyes pure black, yet somehow brighter than mine. And then it winked. I backed out of the filter, but the image stayed. Now every time I open the camera, that version of me appears first, closer to the screen than I ever stand. Tonight, the app updated again. A notification popped up, switching to front-facing view. But I wasn't holding the phone. I never added it, but there it was. Coffin, size 6 foot, sitting in my cart. Before I could remove it, the order confirmed itself at 3:12 a.m. Estimated delivery, tomorrow. At 3:13, another notification appeared. Your item has been measured for custom fit. I felt something cold trace along my spine as if fingers were taking my dimensions. A second item auto-added beneath the coffin. Grave preparation service included. The arrival window just updated. Out for delivery. But it's only midnight. The baby monitor shows my son curled in his crib, tiny chest rising and falling in the soft blue glow. But he's standing right next to me, bare feet on the carpet, breath warm against my neck. "Look at the camera, Daddy," he whispers. His voice is wrong, too steady, too rehearsed. On the monitor, the sleeping version of him suddenly opens its eyes, staring straight into the camera lens. My real son, or whatever is beside me, takes my hand. He wants you to switch places now. It counts down from random numbers. 4712, 903, 11255. Never the same twice, I've tested it. Friends over? Normal green digits, blinking like any cheap appliance. The door shuts behind them, and the numbers flip. Red, racing left. Yesterday I came home late, kicked off my shoes, and it was already at 07 seconds. The kitchen was silent except for the soft mechanical sigh it makes when it rewinds. At 03 seconds, a voice leaked out, dry as burnt toast. "Ready or not?" Then at 000, the light inside stayed off. I haven't opened the door since. The notification glowed. Driver arriving in 3 minutes. I'd ordered nothing. Pick up and drop off were at my apartment. Passenger, my full name. A gray Corolla stopped outside. Through the blinds, I saw that the driver's seat was empty. The headlights stayed on, aimed at my door like eyes. The app updated itself. Ride complete. 5 stars. Tip added. Then the screen flickered and showed a new request from tomorrow's date. Same address, same name. But the note read, "Bringing you back." The empty Corolla hasn't left. It just sits there, engine off, waiting for me to get in so it can take me to wherever I already went. A new profile appeared on my Netflix account overnight. Do not watch. Its avatar is me standing in this exact room, shot from behind my own shoulder. Timestamped 14 hours ahead. I'm facing the TV, remote dangling. The cursor hovers, trembling. I click it. The screen loads a single recommended title. Your Final Night, recorded live. The thumbnail is me, right now, eyes wide, staring back at the camera that shouldn't exist. The play button pulses like a heartbeat. If I press it, will I watch myself disappear, or just see how it ends? The progress bar already reads 3 seconds remaining.